this show started, if you ladies and gentlemen could tell a little bird and try to get and let people know that we're in here having this conversation. Welcome. We are going to be talking about this evening. Our topic of discussion will be the lifeline of business and what it means to you and what you feel it is. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And first, before we get started, I would like to introduce ourselves, if that's okay with you all, and then we will go into this discussion. Do we have your permission to let you know who we are and what why we're sitting up here?
If you say yes, if you don't, then say yes, and whichever way feels better.
Absolutely.
So you want me to go first, Gerald, or would you like to?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead and tell the people who you are, and we'll get into this.
All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Jason Schneider, the perception boss. Actually, I'm a perception coach. And so my formal title is that I'm a neurosemanticist. And what I do is I work with people to understand how their subjective experience influences their behaviors and their emotions. So I've been doing this for about 10 years now, trained in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, neurosemantics, and really excited to get on here. I met Gerald on this platform, and ever since then, I think it was love at first blab. Is that going too far?
I was going to say it was a born brethren right away. I mean, you know, that's my brother from another mother. I promise you guys that.
So that's me, and I'm excited to talk about this topic today.
Okay. Absolutely. And my name, I'm Gerald DuBose. Hey, Rhea, how are you? Rhea just came in the building. All right. I'm seeing some of my peoples. This is great. Just introducing myself for you guys that don't know me. My name is Gerald DuBose. My company is the New Wealth Order. We do personal development, financial literacy, and we work with people in two ways. The main advent of our business is actually business cultivation. We help people cultivate a winning culture and develop and implement value-driven sales and marketing strategies to increase profitability. That's what we do. I don't like to call it coaching because it's really more about cultivation, because you cultivate what's there and help them to grow and expand upon that. So that's what we do. That's who I am. And now we're going to get into this conversation, because this conversation really is about you all. That's really what this conversation is about. The lifeline of business and what you feel that lifeline is. If anybody out there wants to jump in a seat now, we are ever ready, like the battery for you. Come on up. Let's have a talk. If you guys would like to talk on in the bullpen, as they like to call it, we can talk from the bullpen. Hey, I can't sneak in. No, you cannot sneak in, because I see your picture whenever you come in. Whenever you come in, Rhea, I see it. Absolutely. Your website, Jonathan, are you talking to? Well, we will post the websites over here in the sidebar, just so you guys can have it. And here comes Ian. All right, I'm excited to hear.
Great.
From Ian. Well, let him in. There we go. It's all right.
Hey.
Ian's coming through cyberspace. There he is. Mr. Ian, how are you, brother?
Just on silent all of a sudden. Now you can hear me, yeah?
Yes, we can hear you.
Excellent. Great question, guys. The lifeline of business, and you guys with your backgrounds, I know you're on the right wavelength around what you do is providing that lifeline. And for me, that lifeline's passion. If you look at anybody that's successful in business, it's about having a passion to drive them forward and also to support them when they get stuck, because it's the one thing that's going to keep you going.
Yes, indeed. That's a great answer. So how do you feel that passion is or creates the lifeline in the business? You know, just to break that down just a little bit further.
Absolutely. When you're running a business, I think when you're doing it day by day, you can end up becoming a bit like a machine. Many businesses are producing something. Even in internet marketing land, it's about numbers, it's about systems, it's about the products themselves. And you can easily get lost in that mode of even making lots of money. But that's not what sells the initiative. What sells it is the fact that you're passionate about the topic, that you can really connect with an audience and move them to act on their own purposes, and use that passion when you get stuck to remind yourself, why am I here? What's my big why? Is one phrase that gets used around that. But also just, I'm going to stick at this, because it's all too easy, especially for small business, to throw in the towel. There's so many lifelines out there in terms of go back to corporate land and do another job, or find another business, or work with someone else. And it's very easy to say it's all too hard.
Yeah.
If you get back to that passion, you can actually motivate yourself a lot to push through that one roadblock. And you generally find that every roadblock makes each roadblock smaller. You find the ways to get around it, over it, through it, meet people that help you have the conversation that shifts you. And you soon realize that most of the roadblocks you get aren't insurmountable at all. It's just finding a different way. Try something you haven't tried. That might be the answer. The passion helps you drive that.
Jason, you had a question for him. Let me greet Jamila. Hi, Jamila. How are you? But go ahead, Jason. Jason, you had a question.
Yeah, so that's just kind of going back to that quote. If you have a big enough why, you can overcome any how or any obstacle. And so what I heard you say also there is that it's not the systems that sell, it's the passion that sells. Is that what you were saying?
Absolutely. And you've had an experience in a speaking
and your story
that we shared. And that was about passion coming through. How do you get your passion out there to present who you are, and how your solution, as techy as it might be, as geeky as it might be, as complex as it might be, how does it solve someone else's problem? And when you sound passionate about it, they're more likely to run towards you rather than away.
That's true. That's true. So how have you used your passion to build that lifeline and give your business that heartbeat? How have you used it in your own business?
Well, it's interesting. Rather than perhaps in the business, it's maybe more about my whole journey. Yeah. I've spent 20, 25 years working in IT. So I have a very good understanding of technology. And of course, being the age that I am, I've grown up with social media. It really has been something that, I'm almost a millennial in my behavior, even though I'm older, because I get it. I understand how it works. And in doing that, that was a passionate thing compared to that corporate IT stuff. The corporate IT was quite stale. The relationships and the commercial angles get in the way. So at one opportunity, I went off and started helping small businesses with business growth strategies, because I saw that what I learned in corporate land was actually quite applicable if I simpled it down and made them into systems to help companies move forward or small businesses move forward. In doing that, I've also spent, I realized, I didn't know when I first left corporate, but I'd realized I'd coached people in public speaking for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Through Toastmasters and through my corporate career, I've done a lot of coaching people to basically sell ideas. And once I realized that small business owners weren't selling enough of their own ideas, my speaking idea comes in, and I go, gee, if more business owners spoke one to many, they can convert more people more time effectively, share their passion to the point of the question, and in that way, they're able to grow their businesses more passionately. So hence, my dynamic speaking business is about helping people develop presentations that are much more likely to convert. Now, that's very much the back end of it. There's people with the issues of language and culture and all those aspects. But when it hits the road, it's about having a conversation with an audience that moves people. And you've got to move them through some call to action to take the next step, whether it's for themselves or with you in a business situation, or even just to adopt your idea. Especially with most presentations, it's actually just about inspiring people to do something different. It may not be a real product sale, but you've got to use that passion and leverage it into a story and a sense of action that has that person ready to take the next step at the end. Because if they don't make a next step, it's pretty much a waste of time. So you can hear my passion there, right? It's about moving people to act so that their businesses can grow. And that's pretty much where my passion is right now. And Jason saw that the other day. I could hear what he was doing in a sales pitch, and he was being helped with a professional stage person, and I was coming in from the sideline with a few technical speaking tips that were just at a different angle, a different view, because it is a very personal thing, how we speak in business. But there's a whole bunch of ways you can combine together to produce a better outcome.
Wow.
So I haven't hit the passion block where I say I'm going to throw it in and walk away yet. So passion hasn't had to save me yet. But I've known it to work with business owners that I've worked with.
Wonderful.
Yeah, lots of gold in there.
Yeah, great guys. I'll drop out and let someone else come in, but well done on having this particular black.
Oh,
yeah, nice to meet you finally, Ian.
Thank you, brother. I was going to say, somebody may have a question for you, though. And before you jump out, does anybody have a question for my brother Ian? We're talking about the lifeline of business and what you feel the lifeline of your business is. And my brother Ian so eloquently said that he believes it's passion. So does anybody have a question for Ian? And Ian, before you leave, if nobody does, we're going to give them a few moments to type over there. I definitely want you to put your website out there, let people know how they can get in touch with you. And so that way, if they would like to further the conversation, they have a way to reach you.
What I'll do is I'll use a Facebook group that I'm just building. Just soft to touch.
That look like some good coffee, Jason, man. You look like you're enjoying that sip of caffeine.
I'm not even on the screen right now. It's been a long weekend.
Yeah, I understand.
So Ian,
I'll drop that URL in there shortly.
Okay, cool. What were you saying, Jason?
Well, I was actually, before you drop out, he dropped. Now, I was going to ask him a little bit more about that, but it's all right.
He's coming back. Here's Jason. He's
watching the chat, not the people. Yeah, Jason, go for it.
No, so you're saying that passion is the lifeline. So if something comes up and you really need to, so the purpose of passion, what you were saying is that it helps people to take action. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, it does two things. I think it's about engaging with your community. That's the first way passion gets perceived by the external world. But the second part, where I think Gerald was alluding to, and yourself now perhaps, is that when the going gets tough, you need to go back to that why that we were speaking about and leverage that to push through. Because there will be roadblocks in any business. You're going to have the first sale, or the time when you want to go from $100,000 to $200,000. Those shifts require leverage, and the way you can get personal leverage is to go back to your own passion and remember why you're doing this. Realize that the lump in the road is only a small hump in the road, and move through. And after all, your passion is going to inspire somebody else to help you as well. So I often espouse the idea of a board of advisors. I've run a few mastermind groups over the years, and one of the ideas that comes up there is that in business, no one person succeeds on their own. You've got to have people around you to help, and that mastermind model allows someone like me as a business coach as well to bring in people who are from different angles, like an accountant or a marketing expert or whatever. Usually just anybody else in business has a different experience to you, and the passion that you have gives you the flexibility to go, I'm going to try that angle. It may not work, but it gives you the energy to try it. And if you've lost that passion, then you're probably in the wrong game. You need to have the passion to keep on going.
That's a great point.
Excellent. Okay, so if nobody has any questions for my brother, we'll let somebody else jump in the hot seat if they would like to. That would be great. Just trying to get you guys everybody's opinion on what they feel the lifeline of their business is, or what keeps the heartbeat going in the business. I don't think people discuss it enough, and I think it's a topic that's kind of open-ended. So hence why we're just asking the question, what do you feel the lifeline of your business is? So Jason, what are your feelings on a subject like that? And Dwayne, I see you hiding in the bullpen. You cannot be incognito. I'm going to call you out. So it's not a big deal, but it's okay. Go ahead, Jason.
Who's that hiding out that you're calling out?
Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne. All right. Yeah, I see you hollering at Dwayne. I don't see any Dwayne out there.
Exclusive brand is Dwayne.
So actually, I want to reach out to. I want to pose one more question. I want to get people out there, and I would say, for example, like I like how you called like the heartbeat metaphor, and I'm wondering what people think is the lifeline of their life. I mean, let's go there for a moment maybe and pull it out there. So if anyone has anything to share, hey, John, welcome. We're talking about lifelines and the lifeline of your business if you're a business owner, or even the company that you work in if you're within a company, or even the lifeline of your life. And Jody's coming in. We got a couple other people popping in.
We got Jody and John coming in. This is starting to come in. So go ahead, Jason. Pose the question again so everybody can hear it.
So I'm wondering what is so we're talking here today about what is the lifeline of your business. And Ian just popped in from Australia, and he was saying that the lifeline. He believes that the lifeline of business is passion, because passion is what gets you to continue when you get knocked down. And passion is also what helps you to sell. It helps to bring people in and for them to get on board with your mission and your business, and to, at the end of the day, take action on what you're saying. So I was wondering, first of all, what is the lifeline in your business, and even just in your life, what is your lifeline? What is it that keeps you going or that fuels you? Anybody out there in the bullpen, in the chat box, want to jump in here? Nature, please specify, Jody, how specifically nature? Being outside, connection with the earth, okay.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and in what way?
It's fuel. Okay, all right. So that's what stokes her fire. And I had the privilege of actually talking with Jody. Earlier this morning. It was great to see her on cam and actually get to hear her voice. Because this again is a dynamic connection versus the static one that we experience so much on other social media platforms. Just to actually see and interact with her live was phenomenal. Hi, Billy Bob. How are you? Hey, Rena. How are you?
Hey, Rena.
So, go
so
ahead.
Did you see her? Does she have a real mustache in real life? A neon green
no,
mustache?
she does not have a real mustache.
All right. I was just wondering. I don't know. I thought I was getting like a little bit of an inferiority complex going on with this thing here. I couldn't hang.
And here she comes. She's going to show her lovely face. We're having Miss Jody Brown join us.
Oh my God! I was busy googling neurosemantics before I jumped in because I don't know what the hell it is.
Great. I'm glad.
How are you?
Doing good.
I'm looking up. I was looking at neurosemantics. It's a mouthful, and it's a new concept to me. And I don't.
It's a mouthful. Oh, so I could give you just a quick recap.
Yeah,
so
give me the Cliff Notes version so I can start blabbing.
It's a field about how the stuff in your mind, which is meaning, semantics, influences your behavior and your emotions. So it's a way of modeling human programming.
Wow. And there's ways to manipulate it. I'm assuming, right? Are there?
Yeah. All day, every day, people are thinking and changing and growing and learning. And so every time that you learn or change your perspective, then you've altered your neurosemantic system. And that's also what we're looking at here is when we think about a lifeline of our business, what is the different meanings that people associate with that? So for some person, like for yourself, nature. For you, nature is the lifeline of your life, or is your lifeline. Or for you, nature is fuel. And so that for you is one thing, whereas someone else who grew up in a city their whole life, nature may not be very fueling. It may be taking them away from their fire.
Right.
So it's interesting how different people are organized differently in their minds.
Yeah, I can't do anything if I'm not feeling like I'm fed emotionally. I mean, why bother getting up and working if I'm not feeling like I'm getting what I need at a base level, right?
Right.
So that's priority for me. It isn't for some people. Some people, I'm passionate about various aspects of my business, but I literally, if I get up in the morning and I see light coming in from my shades, just radiant light, I still am not happy until I open the shades and I see outside. I have a connection with the planet that I don't know what it is, but I can't function until I actually connect with it and move forward. So for me, it's a real base thing.
Oh wow! Okay,
Gotcha.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we are. I don't even try and figure it out anymore. I just roll with it. But I am very passionate about what I'm doing for sure, and I know that we build on everything, right? You start in one place, and then you take the next step, right? You get what you need in the morning. We were talking about this earlier today, Gerald, right? What do you fuel your body with? How do you get your day going? You get going at your base level, and then you add all the other things to it, and it's a ripple effect during the day.
Okay. All right. That's true. That's very true. You have to energize yourself and have the energy to sustain throughout the day so that you can complete tasks and bring your business to the level that you would like. So if you had to say that, is that the actual essence of the heartbeat or the lifeline of your business, you would say? Is that connection to nature, or is it something else? Even though the connection is the fuel, but what would you say the lifeline is?
The lifeline to my business as a whole is my desire to help others.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I'm not as self-motivated as I used to be.
Awesome. Awesome. That's true, because life is about we, not about me. You have to turn that M upside down kind of thing, and people forget about that. I believe it's very important that we remember why we are in business. It is to serve or to help others.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it takes everybody's life experience takes some sometimes a circuitous route to get where you need to be. A lot of us feel some days like we're really frustrated with not moving forward, but I think that the universe has, whatever that power is out there, has a different schedule than we sometimes do, and you just got to roll with it. And life is one of the things analogies I always use about life is it's sort of like a ping pong, not a ping pong. What's that game with they slap the paddles on the side? Come on, Gerald, from when we were younger. Pinball, right? It's like life's like a pinball machine, right? You get slammed up into one corner, and there's something up there, and then you get slammed into another corner. I mean, there's no straight line to anything. I mean, life is just, paddling back and forth and trying to recover at each point.
And my thing would be with that is that what people fail to forget is that everything we do in life is energy, right? Mm-hmm. Everything around us, it has energy. Even the things we feel are inanimate objects have some type of energy. And when you put energy under that microscope, and when people are looking at energy and actually watch the flow of energy, have you ever seen an energy line go straight?
No. Very good. That's great. That's a great way to look at it, right? It is. It doesn't. It's always zigzag.
Exactly. So there's always going to be ups and downs, because that's how energy flows. And if you are expecting to live in existence that's a straight line, you are at best diluting yourself of what is going to happen. So I am absolutely with you there. Let's see. Jody, she says, right on target, Jody. Great. Tish says, it's always more about others and should never be about us. My passion is I enjoy editing text and images and PDF files for friends who have no idea how to do it.
There you go.
Me, this is when I'm working with my Mary Kay girlfriends. Thanks for the commentary. She's talking to you, Jody.
Yep, I'm reading with you. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. All right, Ian, thanks for popping in, brother. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for popping in. Come back later if you want, or if you can. While you're up here, Jody, do you have any other questions or comments or anything you'd like to say to Jason or myself? I mean,
I felt like I really should have sat and observed a little bit more before I jumped in, so that I could have had a little bit more information about the conversation. I think one of the things that I have noticed, I'm 52 years old, and I've had a pretty interesting life.
Young. 52 years young. Transformative language.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. Yeah. Trust me, there ain't nothing old about my ass.
I know that's
right. But I think that I've noticed in the last 5 or 6 years or so, I've noticed a shift in a lot of things. Like you're talking about transformative language. There seems to be a shift in how we're focusing. My generation has I grew up in the 80s. You know, I'm a child of the late 70s and the early 80s, where it was all about greed and money. You know, everything was all about greed. The way we were exporting our culture to the world via the U.S., where shows like Dynasty and, you know, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and, you know, it was all about greed, greed, greed. And I think, like so many things that we are currently doing right now, we're finding that trend it's no good. It's not working anymore. So people are becoming a little bit more aware, and they're trying to find a way where they can feel better from the inside out rather from the outside in. And I think that trend is a lot of like the lifeline that you're talking about, that people are trying to find a way to be more connected instead of as disconnected as they've been. I think they're hungry for some better satisfaction.
Yeah, that happens when people, so when we talk about self-actualization psychology, that happens when people overload needs with too much meaning. So when we talk about neurosemantics, and so like, for example, when someone says, oh, when they want money for the sake of getting power or self-esteem, you can have all the money in the world, you're never going to have power or self-esteem. You're going to be rich, but
Absolutely.
You're never going to have esteem. You know, you try to get money to make friends, well, they'll be rich, but it's not necessarily going to make you any real deep connections with anybody. And so people, when you try to fulfill a need with a false gratifier, you end up being unfulfilled. And like you're saying, Jody, when we take this out and we scale it out, that these things don't become sustainable. It's not a sustainable mindset for, if everyone was to do that, would it work as a culture? And if not, then we need to think of a new way, because it's not ecological.
Yeah, and I think it's true about a lot of aspects of our culture. I think that, you know, we've tried to scale up because the population has demanded it, and we've tried to make things more efficient and more, you know, better overall. And it's just been a cluster at so many levels for so many things that we're starting to dial it back, and things are starting to become smaller and more community-based in our day-to-day life. Even though we're connecting more globally to the planet like we are here, I think that we're really hungry for more connection, and I think that's why this platform is doing so well.
And I believe that too, because this actually gives you a more realistic type of connection where it doesn't feel segmented, so to say. Because, you know, Facebook, yes, we can be friends, and I can send you a message, I can send you a like, I can say I like your photos. However, we never get the actual human true interaction like this. Like, this feels like we're sitting in the living room and all just having a conversation around how we feel about business, how we feel about life and its perceptions. And that's something that you don't get on the other formats as of yet, which I'm quite sure that they're going to try to copy when they see how big this thing gets. But right now, you don't get it there. I mean, even as far as a Periscope or a Meerkat, that's a one-way conversation still. And this format gives you something dynamic. It's something that's breathing. It's something that's living. And it's just a phenomenal experience. Like I said, I mean, after a first blab with somebody, I know whether I want to be part of their circle at all or not. Versus
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And it's a quick filter, right? I'm finding out who all my blab crushes are, right? Like who the men and women are that I'm going to start like. But you know what? It gives you an opportunity to cut to the chase, right?
It does, absolutely.
Because I am highly intuitive. And
yes,
so I didn't do very well with, like Gerald is explaining, when there's a wall between us, right? When we're all just trying to communicate through text and stuff. I need, you know, when I'm in a room with you, I'm going to touch your arm. I'm going to be close to you. You know, I'm just somebody who I feel energy. And so I've been floundering for years trying to find an opportunity to connect with other people. And it wasn't until I stumbled on Blab a month ago that I really felt like I landed somewhere.
Yes. Jason, I know you have something to add there. I see
that. There's a bunch. Well, you know, I agree with you guys. I think this platform is amazing. It gives people the opportunity to truly connect and to truly be authentic in a way that's not possible in other social medias. You know, it's really easy to kind of misrepresent yourself. People, when you go on Facebook, right, I know we're getting a little bit off topic, and we'll reel it back in a moment, but you know, when you go on Facebook, and people are very selective about the photos they post, about what they share and what they don't share, and and how they present themselves through messages and their posts and everything. So on here, you get a chance to really get someone's energy and really get a sense of who they are and how they are. So that's.
So I have a question. Are you two? Have you two been working together? Are you? Have you been doing something together? Or did Jason just step into the conversation?
No, actually, Jason and I met a little over a week ago, and we are going to do some stuff together. Hence why we started this blab, to talk about things and just get other people's viewpoints on some things. And yes, we are definitely going to work together. But it seems like we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jody.
No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No,
we're going on just over an hour and a half now, I think, in total run time. We got about 90 minutes of face-to-face time.
Yeah, so,
really?
We met, we connected, and it was instantaneous. It wasn't, hey, let's email back and forth. It was, okay, let's talk. Let's see where we see our paths crossing and how we may be able to help one another. And it was a synergistic quality there that just was inexplicable. So
great. Well, you guys have a blab crush on each other.
We skipped the whole stalking phase, We didn't have to lurk in the chat like we went on Periscope.
Gracie says a bromance.
A bromance, nice.
Yeah, yes, we definitely do have a bromance. I call him my brother from another mother. So absolutely.
That's funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, you gotta laugh, man. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you both being here. I think there's a lot of great blabs tonight. I tried to put up a blab tonight, and I had not one person show up. It was no-show. But it's okay. It's it is what it is. It's
actually a little thinner on here than it usually is. It's usually a lot more activity.
Is there?
And yeah, I mean, well, it's Sunday night also, so that's what's really causing the little bit of what I would say is a lull, because usually if you look at Blab, the top rooms all have at least 30 or 25 people in them, and the top rooms tonight are having like 20, 16.
Right.
So it's not as many of the regulars on tonight, but that's fine, because I feel that whenever you do something like this, the people that are meant to be there will be there.
Yeah,
and,
agreed.
So
it all happens the way it needs to, for sure. Absolutely.
I know sometimes around this time, when people start hitting about a month on a platform, especially a live streaming one, they tend to go through that crash in the middle for a couple of weeks, or I need some time away from Blab for a little while. So that could be where we're hitting right now, around a month and a half, 2 months in for people.
It could be, for sure. I know I've spent more time than I should on it. I'm distracting myself with the final stages of launching a program that, little resistance. We all have it.
Yeah, we all do.
If the freight train's coming, but I was like, oh, look, a shiny object. I'm going to go over there and see what's going on. But it's been great. I've met some interesting people, and I've learned a lot. My God, I've learned so much from so many people so quickly. And here's another interesting observation. I don't know whether this will benefit you or not. I think one of the things that I really like about this platform in particular is that we all take in information differently. And I know for me, if it's technical stuff, I can't read it. I need somebody to speak it to me. I need somebody to tell me, to give me step-by-step instructions. And I think that this is going to end up being a great place for people who take in information that way. Because I think we've become, I think that video streaming, video learning cuts out a lot of the BS. Right?
Absolutely.
They just give me what I need so that I can move forward. You get less of a rounded education. But I remember when I was very young, I worked preparing taxes for this tax attorney right out of college, and he would send me into the back room and he would say to me, go read this and figure out how to do this. And I would say, just sit with me for 5 minutes and show me how to do it. I would go back, I'd come back 45 minutes later, I still didn't get it. And it was because we all learn a little bit differently and we all take in information differently. And I think that once this platform starts to explode, more and more people are going to be very excited about pulling in information this way, rather than trolling on the internet and looking and reading and trying to figure out what's real and what's not real. They're going to connect with people who are authentic or feel authentic to them, and they're going to listen to everything that they have to say.
And I am 1,000% there with you. I feel the same way about this. And that's why I wanted to have a conversation tonight about what the lifeline, or people felt the lifeline of business is. And because, you know, everything in this world basically is perception. What means something to me may not mean the same thing to you, may not mean the same thing to Tish, may not mean the same thing to Jason. And if we can come together and, however, find a common ground and say, okay, well, you know what? I never thought of that way. And maybe be able to utilize that little bit in our life to make our life a little better and to grow our business a little more.
Yeah.
It's a valued conversation. So,
agreed. I'm excited to see where it's going. I think there's going to be a whole course on how to title your blabs. how to title your blab to sink the hook. Who's going to be doing that blab?
Oh, wow.
Because I swear to God, it's going to come down. We've got that 3 seconds to capture people's attention. And I think that copy is going to be key for getting people to join.
Yeah. Depending on how they set the algorithms here, that's going to be even more important. You know, like right now, everybody still makes the front page.
Right.
That's going to stop. I'm pretty sure.
Well, there is only one page, isn't there, right now?
Well, I mean, that's because it's not enough people doing the blabs.
Right.
But as this thing explodes, like it's going to be more and more and more and more shows and more personalities and more topics. And sometimes it's going to be the same thing of the same topic. So it's going to be about how they are able to decide what show goes where and who is adding the most to the purpose of blab. I'm staying away from that word value, Lord. Value, authentic, genuine, please. Coaches, I can't anymore.
Here's another one for you. Reframe.
Yes.
Oh, that's my favorite word. Don't stop that one yet, please.
He said let's
reframing isn't the problem. People not reframing is the problem.
I know, but I hear it all the time, and it's
that was a reframe.
Yeah.
I won't say it. I'll just do it.
Yeah, and it just dilutes it. What was it you said? What was it this morning, Gerald? You said it's not coaching; it's cultivation.
Yes, cultivation.
There you go.
That's what we do. Reframe. So we got to reframe. As he said, we need to reframe it.
We need to refrain from reframes.
Let's reframe. Let's reframe from reframing and get back to the lifeline of your business.
That's right.
So, Jody, if we were just to sum up one more time, so what would you say the lifeline of your business is now? So we had passion from Ian. You said that the lifeline of your life is nature because that's what fuels you. What would you say would be the fuel for your business?
I really think that there are a lot of people who are in need, who need what I have, and that really makes me feel motivated to get up every day, because I get great responses from the people that I do work with, and I get a lot of really encouraging feedback, and so I think that the lifeline to my business is knowing that there is a need out there for what I have, and that I have what people need. That is definitely the lifeline to my business.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jody. I am so excited. I've gotten to talk to you twice, so I'm going to take it upon myself to say that I may be one of your blab crushes.
I told you you'd be sick of me soon.
I do not tire easily of good people. That is something I don't tire of very easily. So,
all right. Well, I appreciate your time tonight, and I hope I was a little bit of a help to keep things moving forward. Jason, it was nice to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you
and
too,
I look
Jody.
forward to seeing whatever it is that you two man crush, whatever we got going on here, are gonna do.
Okay, and Jody, before you leave, please put your website over there so people, if they want to get in touch with you when they watch the replay, or anybody that's in here now, put your website over there so that they can find a way to get in contact with you.
I will. I'm doing that right now. Thank you for offering. I appreciate that. I'm bad at self-promotion, but I just put it in there. Thank you, darling. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Peace out, boys. See you later.
Bye-bye. And we have Always Journal. I remember seeing this sister. I would love for her to come up and talk about this, but I remember seeing her the first few nights I joined Blab, and I hope she doesn't mind if I talk about her a little bit. Is it okay if I talk about my experience of how I came to know about you, Always Journal? Is that okay with you? Okay. Well, when I first came on the Blab, well, as you can see, it was 20-some days ago. And everything's on the front page because it's not that many Blabs right now. And I saw journaling, and she was chronicling 30 days of journaling on here. And I came into her room a couple of times, and it was unlike anything else I had encountered on Blab. And I just wanted to say how wonderful an experience it was to be just part of that energy, and the wealth of knowledge that she brings, and her delivery is very intelligently put together. So I just wanted to give her that shout out to let her know that I do remember. I have not actually had the experience of maybe sitting on a Blab with her yet, but to have her in here is a phenomenal thing. Hello, Goo Event, and I guess goodbye, Goo Event. Goo Event decided that it's not the time.
Not now.
Get up in here, so that's fine with me.
You inspired him to go journal. He just had to hit the pen to the pad.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's what I do. You either attract or repel what you are. You attract what you are, and you repel what you aren't. So maybe he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready, so that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm glad. I saw journal on here all the time. I never got to pop into one of the Blabs, but it inspired me to journal. Honestly, seeing all the journaling Blabs, so I look forward to catching another one of those.
And that's actually an important part of a program that we utilize is journaling, keeping a track of it. It would be great if she's up to popping on. We're talking about the lifeline, or what we feel the lifeline of your business is. Just getting people's opinion on that topic, because it's a very interesting topic to talk about. Because for some people it's different. We've gotten two totally different answers, and I can't say which one was more right, or which one was more wrong. Oh, she has a 9 o'clock call. She will jump on in a few. Okay,
we'll jump on for a few.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
We got 5 minutes of her presence. I love it. Master of listening to the rhythm of life.
She is a phenomenal sister, man. So if she comes up, we have my brother from another mother and my sister from another mister getting ready to come on. Look at that. I'm surrounded by family. Look at all the love in the house. You see what I mean? You see how Blab brings everybody together? So that's a very special thing about this format here. So yeah.
I gotta ask you on a side note, is my shirt an optical illusion to you too, or is that just me here? I'm like getting tranced out by it. Do you get that too, or it just looks normal?
Dude, I was not staring at it that hard, but now you're making me look. It is trancing me out.
Isn't it a little bit distorted on the camera?
I can't do it. Yeah,
my hypnotic clothing line I got coming out soon, but we'll talk about that in another Blab.
Absolutely. So, Jason, while we wait for my sister to come up, for our sister Always to come up, what do you feel the lifeline of business is? The lifeline of your business?
Well, at the end of the day, it comes down to. It comes down to selling and to closing. I mean, if I'm not going to be bringing in any type of fuel, selling is like the food for my business. I could have all the food on the table right out in front of me, but if I'm not reaching it out and eating it and chewing it and swallowing it, then I'm not going to have any energy in my body. So, for me, that's just key when the rubber hits the road.
Okay, and that's great. So I would have to say I agree with that. You know, you can have all the passion in the world, but your passion doesn't won't sustain very long if you aren't earning a living, because then you feel like you have a hobby and not a business. You know, and you can be passionate about a lot of things. So passion is important to sustain the drive. It's what sustains you through the challenges. However, if you don't have a client, if you don't have any clients, and you're passionate, you're just a passionate person running around in life. So here she comes. She is wonderful. I feel honored. Hello there.
Hey, how are you? I'm dressed for a conference call.
Oh,
The downside of Blab.
I was not dressed for Blab, so I was like, oh, okay. He's got jokes right now, so.
We all are dressed for a conference call. Technically, look at, I'm in a t-shirt. You know, this is just, just a little something. A preacher's kid. How are you, a preacher's kid? That's an interesting name.
I got did up. I set up my whole studio for this Blab, so.
All right, good.
I'm the oddball out here.
You're already okay. I'm looking like I just finished washing dishes, which I did.
Hey.
This is so great. But I want to thank you so much, Gerald, for your kind words earlier. That means a lot to me. Because when you actually start to, I think the topic is the lifeline of your business. When you actually start to step out in your purpose, passion, and calling, and it doesn't look like anybody else's. When people actually resonate with your work, that's very humbling, and I want to thank you for that. That was beautiful. Thank you.
I was just being honest, and I try to be that as much as I can. And when somebody is doing something and you see the light in someone else, you have to share that. I'm big about that. You know, so one thing I think that people misconstrue about business is, and this is a little sidebar, and I have to let you talk because I know you have to go, but people misconstrue that it's all competition, that it's all about, we're in the same line of work, so I can't, advocate for this person. No. See, to me, that's wrong thinking. That is very self-centered, and it's a reason why your business is stagnated if that's the way you feel and that's your motive to be doing business. My thing is this: I don't have to dim your star to let mine shine. So if you are phenomenal and you are great and you are a special individual, I'm going to tell everybody I know, because everybody's not going to resonate with my message. Everybody's not going to resonate with Jason's message. They may need you, and why not pass that on? It's not about that. And when people serve and think and live their life that way, the world becomes better. And you feel better as a person and a business owner. So it's just mind blowing to me that people don't perceive things that way. So now I'll turn it back over to you, sis, because I really would love to hear your opinion on this. So
and I have, my husband bought me this crazy souped up microphone. Can y'all hear my dishwasher in the background? I hope this
yes, we can.
Is it too distracting?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
You have a high quality mic. That's all that means.
Yeah, I love the mic, but it picks up everything, so that's cool. But I so resonate with what you were saying, because you can only rise as high as you allow someone else to go. And when you are operating in God's economy, that's one of the things I teach. There is no competition. There is no competition, and that was what I learned years ago when I started doing this work, and people would come up to me after the workshops. Oh my gosh, you give up so much information. You just give it all away. How do you make money off of this? How do you do, so when people start talking money, that's a good indicator to me that they're not operating in the full capacity of what their gift is. Because once you understand that you're operating in your gift, it's a bottomless pit. it never runs out. And so every night, every time I give everything, because the next day it's going to be like a download of new information. And so when you start to restrict yourself and limit yourself, okay, this part is free, this part is paid, this part is this, and you start compartmentalizing things, you're diluting your message. And so, I'm a big proponent of supporting everybody who's doing, whatever their heart calls them to do, because like you said, Gerald, I can't do everything, so if you're good in this area, I'm promoting you because, I can't do it all. So if you come across my radar and I know someone needs your services, by all means, I'm going to put them, your way, because someone else is doing the same thing for me. And so it's a win-win situation when you don't guard your gift so heavily that you can't, there's no breathing room for you or for anyone else. And so it's counterintuitive to to not promote other people. It's just not a bright thing to do.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I appreciate you jumping on so much. Oh my gosh. And I really hope that we're still going after your conference call if you want to come back, because I know it's like 8:57.
Yeah,
so I don't
gotta
hold you like right till the time. I know how, hey, we're all in the same business, so we know how that works. So
thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All
and
right.
I'll see you guys around. Thanks, Jason.
Right.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Always awesome to see that sister around. She is phenomenal. We just had some great people step into the room. We had Morgan come in. We have Kimberly that came in. We have Miss gosh, we got people just funneling in and out kind of quickly. We have Vicky that came in. We have Regeneration that came in. Basically, what we're talking about is the lifeline of your business, or what you feel that the lifeline of your business is. And we've had a lot of different input and intake on the subject. Is there anybody that would like to come up and share what they feel the lifeline of business is? I mean, I feel like it's an open-ended question, and I'll let Jason speak to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten all sorts of answers. We had, let's see here. Let me scroll up a little bit here. We had passion come up. Someone said passion was lifeline of their business. We had, let's see here, scrolling up. That knowing that she has what other people need was one of the ones here. We had money come up, as money is the lifeline, and selling being the lifeline of the business as well. So anyone who's interested in, feel free to pop in. We got the seat open, and we're looking forward to speaking to each other and learning from everybody's different, unique experiences. Unique. Welcome.
Cool.
We have Regeneration says the lifeline of business is authenticity, relationships, true purpose, and meeting the need constantly and consistently.
Absolutely. Wow. That's a powerful statement. Let me see what this brother's name is, because I like calling people by that
John,
name.
I believe.
Okay. Hi, John. John, if you want to come up, we would love to hear from you, or if not, the comments over there are fine. Oh, hey, Alfredo, we're having people come in. We have Susan that came in. Hi, Susan. Again, we're talking about the lifeline of your business. And I think John just brought up a very good point. We talk about authenticity and relationships. I mean, those are definitely very, very, very important to your business being able to sustain itself and to be able to carry on. Yeah, I would love for him to come up, Kim. I don't know if he wants to come up. He doesn't have to, I just joined Blab, but I'm on the way to a radio interview. You're my first broadcast, and I love what you're doing. I'll be back. I appreciate it, brother. Please come back. I will follow you so that we can stay in touch, and let's have a conversation anytime you want. We'll actually be doing something else tomorrow evening, so if you want to come back tomorrow evening at 8, that'd be great. So
likewise, we had a preacher's kid saying that innovation and adaptability is the lifeline. Innovation and adaptability. I think that's real important. That's a good point also. Things are evolving really, really, really quickly nowadays. Yes, and so being able to adapt and to innovate, crucial in business.
Yeah.
I was just reading a book. They were saying that Fortune 500 companies, I think that they used to be around holding, I think it was 400 years or something like that as the average lifespan of a Fortune 500 company. And they were predicting that in the next couple of years, the lifespan of the Fortune 500 company would be knocked down to 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Because of just how easy it is to innovate and adapt and making that more available to more people. And welcome, Mohammed.
Yeah, welcome, Muhammad, and welcome, Miss Ava Laura. That is my girl. Ava Laura is phenomenal. You all need to meet her. If you haven't, she is special. Also, I believe P&L, meaning people in love, not profit and loss. I think that when some of us start to worship money, they lose sight of the true meaning of the lifeline of your business. Just my opinion. At some point, I plan on being on with a like blabber. We're planning on it. I love Tish. Tish is phenomenal. Okay, we're going to get John for a couple of minutes. He's on his way somewhere, but we're going to get a chance to speak to John. This is special. So John's jumping in. Okay, his camera did not come in. That's okay. We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Oh man.
While we're waiting, we have here connection EXNG says constantly evolving. I think that's come up a couple times. Your customer experience, constantly evolving your customer experience and value is key.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to constantly evolve. That is what keeps people going. I mean, think about it. Netscape was the dominant browser. Where's Netscape now?
Net what?
Netscape, exactly. if you do not adapt, you will become irrelevant, especially in the technology age. John, do you want to speak, or you want to jump out and try to come back with the camera, or we can listen?
Let me jump out and try to come back.
Okay, cool.
You know, I'll say that ties in a lot with what Always Journaling was just talking about also. Like she was saying, she gives away everything she can every single day. And just with the knowing or the faith that the next day she's going to download a whole new bunch of information that wasn't out there. And that's kind of like an innovation and adapting, just giving away everything in the moment, just so that you can, you know that if you know that you're continually growing and adapting, then you have no fear of giving away your very best stuff right here and now.
That's very, very true. I mean, because if you're holding on to stuff and not worried about continuously growing, then you do get caught in that cycle of what I have is the magic pill, and there is no one magic pill.
I just invested my whole life savings in the magic pill, though. You're telling me I'm going to go try to call them back.
Get a refund. Demand a refund. Demand it right now. So,
something tells me I'm going to get a dial tone.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give you their money. But yeah, I was going to say they may not be there any longer. That's why they had the one-day sale. Hi, Annette. How are you? Annette just came in to join us. Okay, well, John's back. We don't know if he's going to be able to make it on, but here he comes. He's coming through cyberspace again. Here we go. Let's see, and no picture. It does not want to let you on wherever you are, but that's okay. We love your input and love to hear from you. So, John, just verbalize to these good people what you were saying over there.
So I'm so happy to be joined with you all. I appreciate the opportunity, and as you were chiming in on the lifeline of business, we've obviously been doing business since the beginning of history and time. And the thing that has become apparent to me that's so important is determining the need and being able to consistently meet the need. It's the hallmark of every sale, and anyone who does business knows no matter what role you serve, you are a salesperson. And so determining the need and being able to fill that constantly is what sustains business. It's what builds business, and it's what keeps you in the hearts and minds of the people you serve. And I said serve intentionally. Yes.
That is a very, very big word there. I'm a big advocate for that, and I feel like we're connecting on that right away, because I say that we are born and created. We are only existing on this planet for two primary reasons. Two.
Yes, sir.
No matter how you try to slice it, no matter how you try to divide it up, and if people want to differ with me, that's fine. Hey, it's my opinion, and you're entitled to your own, and maybe we can learn something from one another. We are put here to create and to serve. Yes. I don't care how you slice it, how you dice it. That's what we're here to do. And people are frustrated and unhappy because they aren't creating and they aren't serving the people they know they need to serve. That's where the frustration, that's where the anger, that's where this sadness and depression all comes from, because you are not living and walking in that. And until you do, you never will find that fulfillment that you so desperately are seeking. So
look, anyone who wants to contest you on that debate, I will back you any day. and even in those two words, I think you have the root solution for bettering customer service overall as well. I think that's probably another discussion for another day, but I think those are the two answers to bettering customer service as well.
Absolutely, I agree. I totally agree. Man, brother, I wish you had time to stay. Well, we could keep you for a few more minutes. Please expound on what you do. So introduce yourself to the people. For the people that don't know you, it's my first time meeting you. Yes, I'm excited to know you. I'm already following you on here so that we can stay connected and just talk further. But tell the people who you are, what you do, and
yes, indeed. So I'm happy to meet both of you. I am by day, I am VP of HR for an energy company in Arlington, Virginia. And at all other times, I am an executive business and life coach. And so I have literally, I think, been created to be the leader for leaders and to be the visionary to visionaries. And so I'm here to help leaders get better. And I'm here to be the voice and the conscience and the conciliary, as well as the confidant for leaders globally. So that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, my brother, you just brought an extra smile to my face. I don't know if you can see me.
I can see you.
I am kind of dark over here, and I know I can't see you. However, the thing is, though, you're right in our area. I'm in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. I'm actually in Fairfax right now, so we definitely need to have some conversations.
Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah. So this was a great thing that you came and crossed the path. So if people would like to get in touch with you, how could they do that?
Yeah.
Another bromance. Gracie said it's another bromance in the works.
I love it. I love it. No shame in that game at all. Look, I'm on Instagram at John Haynes III for John Haynes III. I'm also on Facebook at Regeneration LBC, on Twitter at the same Regeneration LBC, and I'm on About Me / John Haynes III. And I just forgot this. On April 17th, I launched my first book. It's called Me in 4 Seasons, a journal for your journey of change. And the whole mission of the book is really to expand the hearts and minds of people so that they can see themselves more clearly, and they can get on to living and being their purpose, and they can also inspire other people to do the same. So it's seeing yourself in 4 seasons of change and being a better person on the back end and helping other people be better as well through motivational and inspirational sayings.
Phenomenal, brother. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Wow. Just really good to have you in here. If you could please pop your information over there in the chat so that they can have it for all the people that didn't hear it and maybe didn't digest it as that quickly, just so that it sticks and they're able to get it if they would like to get in touch with you. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to over here joking with me, talking about I create bromances. I do. I love like-minded people, man. It's great when you can find other people that are looking at the world similarly to the way you do. So
this is what we're supposed to do for one another. It is what we're supposed to be doing. So laugh at it if you want. I love you. I love the both of you.
Absolutely. And I'm not scared. I'm not scared to say it. I'm not afraid. What they say in the movie, I ain't scared.
Not at all.
You can't have my cornbread, and I don't care how y'all feel about it. I'm fighting for mine.
Indeed.
So, oh man. Well, since we're talking like that, I'd love to bring up Morgan because that's Mr. Trouble over there in the corner. Morgan has jokes, and that's fine. And I love that brother too. That's right. And I'm telling everybody, I'm telling the whole world on camera, on record, I love Morgan J. Ingram. No, I'm not going to stop, and I'm calling you out, and I don't care. Oh man. You know, but see, if we shared more experiences like this in life, just imagine how much more peaceful a lot of people's lives would be. That's all I'm saying. Not being afraid to care about an individual just for who they are, not judging them, not trying to make them something else or make them be what you want, but allowing them to be themselves and accepting and loving them for that. The world would be a better place. But I'm going off track. So
we're on a love fest now.
Yeah. But go ahead, Jason. I know you have any questions or anything you want to ask John while we have him here.
No, that was great. Just be sure to write your plug your April 12th in the corner there so that I can find it later.
Boom! I just did
Boom,
it.
There it is. Look at that timing.
Boom! There it is. And now we just need some feminine energy, and I'm going to start calling out some of my ladies that are in the room. And Ava Laura, you better not hit the exit button now. Can you come up and I knew she was
going to leave right away.
Yes, she did right away. I knew she was going. I know her. I know what she's going to do. It's okay.
Hey, look, gents, I got to jump and jump to this interview, but I will check on you right after the interview to see if you're still cranking, and if so, I'll be back in and try to get my picture up as well.
Okay, I appreciate it, John. Thanks for coming in, brother.
All right, blessing to meet y'all. Take care.
Yes. All right. Since Ava Laura jumped, Miss Kim, come on in here, Miss Kim.
All this love is making me hot. I got to go turn on the air. I'll be right back.
Oh, look at this. All this love. Oh, what love. He's just, these people are, I am not camera ready. Oh, man. Okay, Kim's not, I'm not camera ready either, Kim. I'm never camera ready. And there she goes. Look at her. She's awesome. She's going to jump out and come back. All right. Well, I know Fitzgerald will come up if nobody else. Welcome back, Ava Laura. Yes, welcome back. I guess she had technical difficulty. Is that what we're going to call it?
Trouble. Practical joking.
There you go. Now Fitzgerald comes in with the gifs. And we have Renan DeBarros.
Here goes trouble.
Okay. Anybody else want to come up and have anything to say on this topic, the lifeline of your business? That's what the conversation's been about. That's pretty much where we've been going. We've heard about passion. We've heard about, helping others. We've heard, honestly, what we both feel this lifeline is it's sales. You can have the passion. You can have the love to want to help other people. But if you aren't helping other people and you aren't being able to serve them by doing business with them, then you don't have a business. You have a hobby and you have a passion, a hobby that you're passionate about, but you have a hobby. So
yeah. And that also comes in when you talk about sustainability. I know when you talked about building your empire, you had the 10 steps to building an empire.
Yes.
And I think one of the 11th steps that someone chimed in was sustainability. And so it doesn't matter how big your passion is, but if you're not able to serve people by selling them, then you're not going to be your passion won't be sustainable.
We have somebody coming in.
We got Renan.
Hello, Renan. How are you?
Hi guys, how are you? Wonderful. I'm fantastic. Yourself?
Wonderful, brother. Wonderful. Thank you for joining in. What are your feelings on the subject?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, wait 1 second, Miss Gracie. Miss
Sure.
Tish is coming in. This is the first time I am getting Miss Tish on camera. I feel really honored. So, as Miss Gracie comes in, please tell me your feelings, Renan. I see you walking around, and this is an honor to meet you, brother.
It's an honor to meet you guys. Yeah, I have pretty particular feelings about the subject, specifically when it comes to entrepreneurs or service-driven businesses. I think there are 5 different things that they can distinguish in, and this is something that we talk to entrepreneurs a lot about, and it makes a whole lot of sense. It's from a book written by Daniel Priestley called Key Person of Influence. It starts with being able to have immense external clarity about who you are and what you do, and that's actually defined as pitching, right? Being able to pitch your idea. And I hear you guys talking about being able to sell. You have to have a very concise sales pitch, but prior to that, you have to have a very good social pitch, right? You need to be able to present who you are exactly, who your target niche is, have that well-defined niche also, not be the real estate guy who deals with everyone who's looking to sell a home, or be the professional speaker that tries to address everybody's motivational concerns, right? But have a well-defined niche to the target market that you're trying to attract, and don't be scared to really refine it as much as possible, because I think the illusion that a lot of people have is that if they really narrow themselves so much, they're going to lose the rest of the market. And that couldn't be further from the truth. If people don't see you as an authority, as an expert in a specific type of niche, then you're diluting yourself with everybody else, and nobody can actually categorize you as to an expert. They just think, oh, he's just another one of ABC type of industry guy. So you fail to be an authority or an expert in a specific niche, right? So that's about pitching. I mean, I can go over the others, but we can have a conversation that includes more than just me talking about that. But what do you guys think about and pitching? There's social pitch, but there's also the sales pitch. There's also the investor pitch, right? Mm-hmm. You need to be able to communicate yourself. We seem to have tremendous internal clarity, it seems like, but when it's about communicating it in a way that people can actually absorb what we're saying and put us in a box where they actually can do something with us, with the information that we're giving them, we seem to have a really hard time doing that. And that's what I'm constantly encouraging my friends and people to do, is really define who you are, define exactly what you're going for too, to the T. Refine and define, and refine and define, and refine and define again, until you're the only person that can solve that specific problem to that specific niche.
Okay, that's a very good good point of view right there. Jason, what are you thinking?
One moment. Yeah, I think that's key. I mean, refining your pitch when we're talking about, me and you kind of agreed on selling, and pitching is the same thing. And it's not only a sales pitch that you're going to be pitching, and it's not only even in business pitching, you're going to be pitching who you are to potential relationships outside of business. You're going to be constantly pitching. You're pitching your ideas. I mean, even right now, everybody comes out here and they're pitching their perspective. So I think that's a huge component. And I really like the idea about niching yourself to the point and refining and defining. I really love that. I'm all about ever increasing levels of accuracy. So with time, you kind of refine and define and continually do that. And you never quite hit on it, but you get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer until the point where you're the only person. I really like that.
Yeah. My thing is, I completely agree. You have to, first of all, my point of view is about relationships. You have to have relationships. As you said, you have to have a social kind of approach. I won't even say it's a pitch per se. It's just you presenting who you are in a precise and concise way that conveys that enough that people kind of make that connection with you and say, hey, this is somebody I want to know more about, or I may want to be involved with. And then you develop into the transactional portion. So I completely agree with that. The expert thing, that word is, because expert is, about experience and your own experiences. So I would say you want to be a specialist. Expert is a little bit of a different animal altogether, because that can be subjective and opinionated. So a specialist, yes, you can be very, this is what I do. This is how I do it. This is why I do it. Expert is a different type of thing altogether, though. So I'd say that portion is
I
the
like
one
that
part.
clarification there. Yeah, I never heard that reframe before. I like that. He dropped out. He got scared, I think, or he loved it so much he couldn't hang anymore.
All right. Well, we got Dave coming in and Miss Ava Laura. We've got Ava Laura. Look at this. We're special. We are so
I cannot have you calling me out.
I'm going to call you out every time I see you.
Seriously, I heard you. My computer is like, the internet connection is messing.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, we always, I have to, like I was telling somebody earlier, when you know somebody and you know that they're special and that what they do really adds value, I'm going to say it.
Okay, wait a minute. Whoa. I didn't get a warm welcome like that.
I didn't get to you.
It was assumed. It was implied by the silence.
I didn't get a chance to get to you yet because
it's like, oh yeah, oh there's Dave, and oh there's so and so. She's so wonderful.
No,
and then she dropped out.
Yeah, she said her computer was messing up, but we have Dave joining us, and Dave, I've seen Dave a few times, and Dave is a great, phenomenal guy as well. So, Dave, glad to have you, brother. Really looking forward to hearing what you feel about this subject matter, man.
My pleasure. Yeah, it's really really fun to be back. I was on the road. I've been out of town since Wednesday, so I've not been on Blab since then. I tried to get on once when I was at a hotel in Minneapolis, and it was running kind of slow, so I did a speed test. The hotel was 4 megabyte download.
Oh, Jesus.
What I kept saying to him is, just give me the tone, and it's like dialogue. I mean, what can you do with 4 megabytes? Zero.
You can look at it. That's what you can do.
I am so very glad to be back. So the last thing I heard you guys talking about, Gerald, was the difference between someone being an expert and someone being a specialist. Do I remember that?
Yeah, I was just kind of reframing that a little bit, because we were talking about the lifeline of your business, and he was just saying that he wanted to niche it down until people recognize you as the expert in that field, or the expert in what you're talking about. And I was just saying that, the expert thing is kind of subjective, really, and kind of iffy to who you talk to. So I said I would prefer maybe if you look at yourself as a specialist, because you specialize in this thing. This is what I do. This is how I do it, and this is what I know. Right. Expert is. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I think when it comes to being an expert, I look at someone being an expert as the same way I look at someone being a leader. You don't call yourself an expert. You don't call yourself a leader. Those around you call you that. In the world of networking, in the world of schmoozing, there are very few people, in this country that know as much about the topic as I do. So yes, am I an expert? Yes, I am. Do I call myself that? No. I definitely believe that you do have to specialize if you're going to try and go out and create a name for yourself. If you're going to go out and do something, kind of stake your claim, you can't be a generalist. Oh yeah, what do you do? Oh, I do this and this and this and this and this. No, they want to know that, this is what you do, this is what you focus on, and this is really where your expertise lies. So my thought is.
Okay, excellent. See, come in and drop bombs, as man Morgan would say, who's trying to hide over there in the corner because he's losing at football this week. But Ava Laura, so Ava Laura, please chime in. Wonderful, beautiful sister, please chime in.
To your point, I'm just gonna, just say something that I learned from one of my mentors. in terms of not being a generalist. And one of the things that he always says is that specificity is for the masters and generality is for the masses. And so if you're going to be a master, you have to specialize in something, whatever that something is. And so I agree with that. I just wanted to chime in terms of talking about the lifeline of our business. I don't know if anybody said this because my computer has been messing up. So I have not heard the entire conversation, but I want to say something about the value of relationships. And specifically what I want to say about that, like this year, I was very intentional in terms of doing more networking. And one of the things that I see is that you have all these people come out to networking events. It's great. We smoosh, we talk. And then afterwards, there's absolutely no follow-up. And I don't understand how you have a business and you're actually attending events. So you're going through the motions of getting in your car, you know, getting dressed up, getting in your car, driving, taking the time out, going to the events. You meet people and then you don't follow up. How do you build your business that way?
If I can jump in, guys, if you don't mind, it's really interesting. I tell people that if I'm going to give people a tip, for those of you that are listening, I'm going to give you a tip right now that is guaranteed to add a 10% revenue bump to your business right now. Guaranteed 100%. And that tip is follow up with every person you talk to. Follow up with every person that says to you, absolutely, I'm interested in your product or service. Here's the big issue, Eva Laura, is people go to networking events. People network because they don't know how to sell. So what happens is they go to these events. They hope that they talk to you. They tell you what they do for a living. You're going to suddenly go, oh my gosh, how have I lived my entire life without your product or service? And you're going to call them the next day and buy it. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
They have to follow up. They have to have those continual connections. They've got to be able to nurture their prospects.
Absolutely.
And that's the part, in my opinion, that people drop off on, is that they don't know how to nurture. It's either sell or quit.
Right. And it's so easy now with social media. I mean, it makes it virtually impossible not to be able to follow up with people and keep up to. I mean, one of the first things I do is I take my business cards and I follow people on LinkedIn, on Facebook, what have you, and send them a message and follow up with them. But I do not see other people doing the same thing. Even when I send messages to some people, I don't even get a reply back.
Gerald, Jason, let me ask you guys, because obviously Eva Laura and I have the opportunity to get out and go to events. And I think for people that spend a lot of time on Blab, we're the minority. What about you guys? Do you guys go to real networking events like chambers of commerce or a trade association, things like that? Do you guys do that on a semi-regular basis?
Jason, Jason, you want to go first?
I'll go first. I'll say not as often as I should. I pop out. I try to go to at least one event a month, but I feel like I could do better in that area. But, you know, as a solopreneur, I have my hands very full. And so, you know, I have to pick when I do what very, very, very carefully.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Okay. I would say I don't go to as many events as I used to, but being in this business now with the business cultivation and all that stuff, I've spoken at SBA in different counties at least 2 or 3 times. I've done some stuff with the Chamber of Commerce 2 or 3 times. I go to special events that government functions. So I do that thing, and I definitely follow up with people, because that what they say, the come up's in the follow up. Because if you don't follow up, you're basically losing that relationship. So it's important, and we always talk about relationship transactions versus transactional relationships. You know, a transactional relationship, that's somebody that come in, they like what you do, they buy it one time, they're gone. You develop a relationship with somebody, though, they become an advocate for you. They like you as a person. They introduce you to other people that can help you go further and further and further, and also refer business to you. So it's very important in cultivating that relationship, like you said, that follow up and building some rapport with that person before you even talk about the business part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. It's because it's the interesting part is people think that they have to go to events, which I believe they do. But the biggest challenge is no one ever taught them what to do. You know, they show up at these events and they stumble through it. They've never had any education. They've never been trained. And the problem is most of the time it's it's a terrible experience. You know, the first time you go to an event where you don't know anybody, you don't know what to say, and it's really uncomfortable. Why in God's name would you go back? But I think there's, I mean, so I think what really has to happen is that if you're going to do this, networking for most people is not an innate skill. Right. This is a learned skill like everything else. So I think if you're going to go out and do this, if you want to go out and meet people, if you want to go out and, really start networking a lot, take the time to learn how to do this. Because obviously, Ava Laura, you've either learned how to do this, or I'm willing to guess you're relatively comfortable at this. What's your background?
I'm just comfortable. It's not something that I've been taught. I'm just very comfortable with myself, and I'm comfortable just showing up in places that I'm not familiar with and just going for it.
Right.
So, I'm in business. I don't have the luxury of sitting at home on my butt not doing anything. So if I'm going to be in business and I want to be known and I want people to know me, I have to get out there.
It's very true.
It's a powerful.
What about you, Jason?
Beliefs. What about me?
Wait, that didn't come out right.
What was that? Wait a minute.
That's a very vague question.
Jason, I got 2 words. D-laugh.
D-laugh.
No,
What about me?
He's like, reverse, go back.
That was the perfect response. No, but what about you? You say you go to events about once a month. Why do you go to them? Why don't you go to more? Because it sounds like you go to events because you feel that you should. But I'm guessing from just the indication from what I'm seeing from you that this isn't your favorite thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. I mean, so I work out of a collaborative workspace where I make a lot of connections. And out of that space, I go out with people, I build relationships, I get referrals from there. When I go to networking events, it tends to be that the people that I'm meeting there, I don't gain the benefit. So I follow up with them, I talk to them, I build relationship with them. Maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months down the line, I'll come into contact with them again. And we'll kind of keep the relationship going and re-spark it, but I don't seem to get a return on it. But I think it's always good to build relationships, especially, the business world. Even in Miami where I am, it's a small world. If you know one person, you know everybody. And so, I go out there and, you think it's a huge city, but you go out and you see the same 10 people everywhere. So, I have good relationships. I think I know anybody who needs to connect me with anybody. And when I go to those things, it's nice. I exchange cards. I meet a couple of new faces. I reconnect with people that I've seen before, but I don't quite get the return on it.
Okay. Well, I would say, I mean, just to even probably echo what I feel that Dave's probably going to say is that it's an art and it's an importance to having to network. You have to constantly grow your circle because especially when, as you said, as a solopreneur, your circle needs to expand in order for you to grow the business that you want to have. So if you are only circling within that circle where you know people and you may go to the same event and you've seen the same 10 people everywhere, then you need to find new events, go to charity events, go to government functions, pay the cost to go in there so that you can expand that circle of influence, and it helps your business go a long way, and you're a personable guy, so there's no reason. But what I believe Dave will speak to is it's an art to networking. And this is completely off topic. We're about to go sideways, but I just have to say it. The thing that drives me the most crazy is when you go to events and the first thing somebody says is, "Well, what do you do?"
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, no, hi, how are you? That's their greeting for you.
How's the weather?
Because if they figure if they can get you to stop talking, then you're going to ask them, and then they get to do the hardcore press. The full court press on you.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's the setup for the pitch. And anybody that's in business knows what that is. You don't really care what I do. You're asking what I do so you can pull out your card and start talking to me about how great your business opportunity is, how great the product you have is.
Actually, they don't even do that anymore. They say, "How can I serve you?"
Right.
Yeah, that's a new one.
And most of the people that say that are so utterly inauthentic, it's ridiculous. It's like, I appreciate that you want to serve me, but you really have no interest to do that.
Right.
And it's true. It's paper thin.
But
Absolutely.
Jason, I want to say, I used to feel the same way as you. Like I didn't really network at all because I just didn't get it. And when you start working from home, it takes a whole lot of effort for me to leave my house to go somewhere, especially in DC. The traffic is horrendous.
Yes,
but
it is.
I will tell you that my commitment was this year to go to at least one networking event a week. And I have just scheduled that. And I have really made some valuable connections from that I would not have gotten anywhere. And I love online. Anybody will tell you I love online. I have built my tribe online, but I have definitely made some connections networking that I never would have made otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's great. One of the cool things, Jason, is one of the things I always try and, remind people is when you go to an event, when you go to any networking event, and I don't care, it doesn't matter whether it's a chamber of commerce, a religious function, you went and watched football today. Everywhere you go, that there's people that you've never met, you get the opportunity to meet somebody new.
That's right.
So what I always try and do is I always have an idea of what I'm looking for. So what I always try to do is there's 4 words I always use, which is who do you know? And if there's something specific that I'm looking for, like for instance, right now I'm in the process of putting together a membership program. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find people that have great background and great technical knowledge in membership programs. So everywhere I go, I'll go talk blah, 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 blah. What do you do? What, don't really care, blah, blah, blah. And somewhere in that conversation, I'm going to ask them, by the way, one of the things I'm looking for is anyone that's got, a background in, online membership programs. Who do you know? And a lot of times they don't know anybody. But if I ask enough people, I'm going to find a lot of people that have that kind of content. So when you go to these events, if you start asking that stuff, you're going to start walking out of there saying this was a successful event. And the more success you have, the more events you'll go to.
That's what I found. The more success I had, I was happy to go to events. I mean, here in DC now, this week was CBC, Congressional Black Caucus, and I went to 2 events. And I will tell you, I met some people. I was like, I cannot believe these people are at this event. I had no idea. One was at the Four Seasons in DC. It was free. It was free. I met Martin Luther King Jr., he was there. I mean, it was like the president of Gambia, the president of Namibia. I mean, it was crazy. And I had no idea it was going to be that caliber of people. And I sat down with some people, just sat down and started eating. And I made some extremely valuable connections. One woman represented Dwayne Wade and other basketball players. I mean,
wow.
Not going to happen online.
You're right.
So that's what happens. The more success you
That's
have,
a good point.
the more you will definitely do.
Like David, when you were saying before, and I completely am on board with this. I think this is awesome, and I'm learning a lot here. When you go, well, who do you know? First thing I would do is reach out on a forum. Reach out in a group on a Facebook and just reach out, because then I hit like 200 people. If I'm going on like Social Media Miami, something like that, or Entrepreneurship Miami, I'm going to reach someone who's going to find someone who can. I had an idea the other day. I had a question. I just reached out on a forum on Facebook. I had an answer within 5 seconds. Someone had given me a phenomenal answer that would have taken me hours to find on my own, or days if I would have waited for an event and gone out there. But but like you're saying, Avalora, you never know who you're going to meet at the events, and it's going to be a different people. And every single person that you meet is valuable. And the people who hang out online on Facebook aren't the same people who hang out on LinkedIn, and aren't the same people who are going to be at live events. So there's definitely a value in getting out there as much as possible. And it's definitely a different skill set. I'll tell you that.
It is. It is. And even on Blab, I wonder, like, how many of you actually take the relationships that you build on Blab and take it offline?
Yes. There you go. There you go.
Because I know I've been very intentional about doing that. I've had some great conversations with people on Blab, and I think Fitz is gone, but we were talking about doing a DMV Blab meetup for people in this area.
Yep, and that's actually how Jason and I met. So, and that's what kind of brought this about. So, yeah, you got to take it offline, you know. Robert,
can I ask David, I just want to ask David real quick because he brought up the conversation here. I'm wondering what percentage of your, let's say, of your business is online versus off, I guess. I don't know if that's the right question, but for starters, I guess.
Well, it's an interesting.
Let's say local versus global.
Most of my stuff is local and national, and some of it's global. Now, what I am about to launch into within the next 3 to 4 months will become more national to more global. Yeah. But I agree with you. You know, if you are somebody that is trying to do more global business, you know, if you're trying to, you know, cross borders and things like that, be able to open up in other countries. Yeah, I would agree with you that while networking is vitally important, it's a lot harder to do because it's just not, you know, feasible to be able to do that. But that's why places like Blab and, you know, all the online resources and all the social media out there is great. And I mean, I'm a huge advocate for every hour I spend online. I try to make sure that I get an hour out in front of, you know, live mirror breathing people,
exactly.
You know, mirror fogging individuals, because you get so tied into this that eventually you got to get out and you got to go talk to real people.
And that's exactly actually what I was getting ready to say. I was going to say, I believe that both are important. You have to have both, you know, if you are really trying to grow your business to, but let me curtail that. It depends on what your goal is for your business. So that's very important. The same strategy cannot be used for every business. So let me correct that. I don't want to generalize that way.
What I'll back up on that, though, to defend the live event position would be that the skills that you make, meeting people in real life and the relationships that you build in real life, is a skill that you can take online, and I don't think it can be done the other way. I don't know if you can learn how to build relationships online if that would directly translate to a live relationship. Whereas if you know how to build a live relationship, that skill I think you can take more easily in an online virtual format.
I could see that. I mean, it definitely seems like online there are more introverts online. And if you're an introvert, it's very difficult for you to get out and network, for sure.
And the interesting part is the thing that I really love about Blab is the fact that it's video, the fact that it is live video. You have to be far more authentic. You can't come on and just spew a bunch of, you know, nonsense and expect people to listen to you and to follow you.
Yes.
You know, you've got to be able to provide content. You have to let people see who you are. And that's the thing that I've always loved about this is you can see if somebody's serious or not. And that's been one of the greatest benefits to me.
And that's something that I talk about a lot. I always say, you know, the thing about Blab, you can't rehearse this. You don't know what or who's coming through that door, who's going to comment, what their feelings are, what their emotion is. You cannot practice this. That is the one thing about this. You, like you said, have to know your stance, your point of view, and be able to give sufficient reason why your point of view is that way. Otherwise, people are going to tune you out. Like this person's just talking.
And you also have to have the skills to be able to deliver your point, deliver your message, deliver your idea. Because if you want to just sit here and listen, that's fine. But if you're going to put your face in one of these squares, you better be prepared when somebody says, well, wait a minute, I'm going to challenge you on what you just said. You better make darn sure you've got the experience, the background, and the expertise to answer that question in a fashion that people are going to go, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Exactly. Exactly. And Kimberly just said over here, she was making a point. She said she went to an event yesterday. Everyone did their intros, and for the first time, I had people running up to me versus running up to them to actually connect with me because I had what they were missing. I didn't sell. I just gave an authentic intro, and boom. See, and that's what it's really all about. If you, as Ava Laura so eloquently said, and I can't say it any better, if you are comfortable with you and what service you are providing, and you know what value it adds, it's no need to be nervous. You talk about it like you love it, like it is that passion, like it is that thing, and then people will either come to you or run from you. And if they run, those aren't your clients. That's fine. So it's just a very good place to be when you understand who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Yep.
Very, very, very important. And Morgan, I'm like, okay, not next.
Morgan
okay.
was saying, if you're fake, you'll be exposed, and if you're, oh wait, maybe I read that
right. Like now what? What happened? I haven't seen that on Blab yet. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it's so many people.
I'd love to.
You know, that's a great topic for a Blab. Morgan, you can't steal it because I like it. I'm an expert at, and just see how many people come in the room to tell you how much of an expert they are. That's a great topic.
No, that's not enough though. Who's going to call them out? Because that's what I want to see. Who's actually going to call them out?
All I need is just a few of these people in this room to come in there. And if Sherry is free, believe me, Sherry will call you if you are wrong.
Oh, Morgan's volunteering too.
Yes, when you start going down that road, Sherry will say, wait. And she's so sweet about it, though. She's sweet.
Oh, no, Sherry will get all in your stuff. I have seen.
Yes, she will. Absolutely. She's like, wait. Now, if we're talking about this.
Yeah, see, the people that I always love.
Yeah, I'm sick of expert guru, etc.
Freeze here.
I love finding all the social media experts. I love finding the people that go, oh, I'm a social media expert. I have a very dear friend of mine that's got a poster on her desk that says every time someone says they're a social media expert, a unicorn dies. And it's so true because truthfully, how can
I spoke to a social media expert who didn't know anything about Blab.
Yeah. Because it's like it's ridiculous. It's changing so rapidly that, I mean, you can have an expertise in an area of social media, but to say that you have a complete expertise in social media, whoa, that's a big statement.
Right.
Wait a minute. My brother over here, Bo says, "Hey, wait, I'm a social media expert."
Oh, there goes another unicorn.
Wait, he said before that I was a social media perk. So I have no problem jumping out so somebody else can jump in. I would love to get Sherry or Morgan in one of these squares here. So either one of you all want to come up and just add to the conversation. Actually, Ace, because Ace always has some stuff to say.
Oh, yes, he does.
Yes, basically we are talking about the lifeline of your business, and we went off into networking, but David brought up a very valid point.
You're the host of this room, so I think you need to stay. I'm actually going to bolt because I got stuff I got to get finished for work tomorrow. So, folks, this has been a genuine pleasure to talk to you.
Yes,
I am so glad to be back in my office so I can be blabbing again. I will look forward to catching you guys again soon. Guys, have a wonderful day.
Always good to see you, brother. See you later.
You got it.
We'll catch the warm welcome next time.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Sherry coming in? We have some more feminine energy.
We got Sherry and Morgan. So I'm going to let Morgan in and then I'll jump out so Sherry can.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Morgan.
How you guys doing?
Hello.
How can I serve you?
I'm telling you, every time someone says that to me, I laugh. Like, I don't know. What do you do? I don't know.
Do you? But I do say that though. If I actually can't help them though, I do say that.
From the beginning?
Not from the beginning.
Okay.
No. I know. I say like if they have like if they're saying something that like I can help them with, then I'd be like, how can I help you? Like legitimately, like how can I really help you? Right? Because then that just makes sense. But not right off the bat,
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That's sort of the buzzword now, or should I say the buzz phrase.
Exactly.
And
Apparently, I haven't been getting out of
the thing that I like to do is I like to join different groups where I can meet a diverse group of people. I'm in a film club. Believe it or not, I'm in a dragon boat racing club. Okay, and
I thought you were going to stop at drag. Drag queen.
Look it up. Dragon boat racing is one of the fastest growing sports. It's Japanese, but more and more people here in the United States have picked it up. And there are city teams, and a lot of the companies sponsor different teams and pay for a boat. So it gives you quick entree into a number of different companies, and you get a chance to meet some of the big muckety mucks because they're generally the coaches for the teams. So that way you're sitting there talking with people, it's conversational, and you get a chance to feel them out and see how they are. And you're networking, right? But going to those networking events where everybody's running around handing out cards, that, like you say, Ava Laura, they're not going to follow up. Everybody's just going through the motions of handing cards and this, that, and the other, as opposed to really getting to know people even before you attempt.
I don't like that at all. I don't like people who collect cards as baseball cards.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I stopped giving out cards. I mean, my cards are expensive, so I'll take your card and I'll follow up with you, but I'm not giving you my
card. You have a card? No, I don't. Sorry.
That's what I do. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, and that's what I do, but you're not getting my card.
Gerald asked me, what is the lifeline to my business? And it is... I think to a great extent, I'm much more personable in person. So it is my ability to meet people, and just because I'm interested, I want to know a lot of things. So if somebody mentions something, because that's how I found out about dragon boat racing, I'll say, well, tell me a little bit more about that. Well, how did you know about that? Oh, that's how I found Blab. That at my movie group, the cinema group, that a college professor was there, and she was saying she works a lot with college students, and she was saying live streaming is the next big thing. You ought to try out Periscope and this, that, and the other. So that is the lifeline of my business, that me being able to meet people and make that connection. What?
It was a funny comment. I just was laughing.
Oh.
He said he named his business none of your business. So when he's asked, that's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's funny.
That just caught me so off guard.
And how many clients does he have?
It might be so funny that I would work with them.
None of your business, LLC.
LLC. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
That's funny.
No, but that is sort of mine. That is sort of mine.
None of your business, Inc. What a name. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But did that help, Gerald?
Yes, it did. And as always, this is what I love about this format, this place here. I mean, you find people and you just know who they are and what they bring to the table. And that's why I ask for their opinions, so that people can, first of all, meet you all, and you all are able to put your information out. I'm echoing, so it may have been me because you all weren't echoing before. So let me take my echoing self back out of the yo-yo, and I'll come back.
How about you?
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do.
refresh?
Yeah,
How about
refresh.
that?
But no.
Morgan, what did you want to say?
What? Who was that?
I can't just hang out in
Oh,
the
now I'm
square.
echoing. Am I echoing?
I'm just kidding. That's completely against everything I stand for. Who? Yeah, somebody is echoing though, and that's not the best of things. So
Absolutely. Okay, so now I'm back. No echo now. I don't sound like Captain Caveman.
okay. Captain Caveman. What? No, I really was. Yeah, you did. I was like, what? Okay, so basically, I just I think the lifeline is what you make the lifeline. So I think that at the end of the day, whatever you're really stating, whatever you're really doing, that's what you are. So I think the value that you bring out has to be exemplified by what you're doing.
That link's for you.
There you go. So at the end of the day, I think the main thing is the lifeline is what you bring to the table. So that's the value and the energy. So for me, it's my energy that brings the lifeline to my business. Because that's just what I figured out is the main thing that helps me out at the end of the day.
Okay, that is pretty hot. Okay, and I hate hearing myself like reverberating.
It's too much for me right now. I can't even actually think what I'm gonna say because it's echoing and I can't even actually process my thoughts. So because it's really weird. So the echo really needs to stop.
Okay, now. So now you see, because I got a chance to meet the general manager for Fidelity Investments here through Dragon Boat Racing, and I'm sure if you check around, there's a group in your area. It's very popular, and.
I don't know about very.
Oh, it's very popular.
Wait a minute. Everybody's echoing now but Sherry. So
okay. All right. Let me refresh.
Yes, refresh, please.
Oh, okay.
All right.
How is it now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Better.
that's better. I can breathe now.
I was talking and I was like, I can't even express what I'm trying to express. It's very uncomfortable. Like that.
Like Ace said, in batting for the Yankees, Derek Jeter.
I can't do that. That's not
right. But I definitely want to get Ace up here too. So in a moment I'll jump out after we get Sherry back. Okay.
I was about to say I could jump out. I've been taking up enough space.
Okay. All right. If you want to jump out, I'll let Ace in. Ava Laura, please tell the people how they can get in touch with you. It's important. Wonderful woman. Can you put that over there?
AvaLaura.com. Okay. Yeah. AvaLaura.com, LinkedIn, Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Because I'm a social media expert.
Wait.
LLC.
But do you have Medium? Do you have YouTube? You don't have all of them, do you? So you're not an expert.
I'm on YouTube.
Are you on Medium? But you're not an expert then.
No, that's a YouTube.
You're still a novice. I'm sorry.
Wait, Morgan. She can sit in your square though. Her clout score is like 85 or something like that. She's like up there, so she's up there. Morgan has this thing. You can't sit in his box if your clout score isn't 65 plus. That's Lieutenant Governor Morgan right there. You do not come on Morgan's blab if your clout score is low. If your clout score is 40, please stay in the comment section. You will not make it to the Hollywood Squares.
Clout score with a K, Kimberly. It's with a K.
This is too much.
Check it out. It basically clout score is how influential you are on social media or online.
Actually, it measures your level of interaction and who interacts.
Well, people use it as influence.
Yeah, well, no, it measures your interaction and who interacts with you. Okay, so if I talk to someone who has a clout score of 70, that instantly brings my score up because it says an influencer is talking to me. Yeah,
right. Because I haven't experienced this, but I have heard people get speaking engagements and things like that based on their clout score because they think that they have an influence on the people that they, who follow them or they follow.
Well, think about it.
Speaking engagements based off their clout score.
I don't use it.
Well, think about it.
You're getting ready.
I promise you, I have heard.
You all are getting ready to make it worse for Morgan. You see his face? He's
but
really not going to let people in now.
I have heard that. I didn't even know what a clout score was before, I don't know, a couple years ago.
But it makes sense because a number of people, and I know when I first got actively involved in Twitter, I witnessed it and know someone who did it. She sat there all day long. She said she would follow sometimes 200 and 300 people in a day. And in something like 90 days, she had 40,000 followers. Didn't matter that some of these people got the invite and just said, yeah, okay. So she in turn could then say, oh, well, I'm an expert and look at how many followers I have. Because I was on a forum at one point and the guy was saying he had followed so many people that Twitter blocked him for a while. He was just following too many. Yes. Okay. So a lot of people equate having a large number of followers with influence. So clout, while not perfect, and I have some disagreements with it, it at least gives you some indication of how much interaction you're having with these people and how much interaction they're having back. Okay. And who you're doing it with, because otherwise.
Morgan is stewing over there. What you got to say, Morgan?
I just don't understand how people can alpha clout scores. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's not.
That's just me.
He's not going to let people in the square. You guys are making it worse. That's Lieutenant Governor over there. Do you know how Morgan is about people on his blab? Now, Morgan hosts great blabs. I cannot take anything away from the brother, but you're not jumping in Morgan Square. You do not just walk in Morgan's room and try to jump in his square.
I'm gonna come in as an egg one time and try it.
If you come in here as an egg, I will not only block you out the square, I will mention you in the comments, and I'll be like, please get a picture, and I'll even call help to help you out.
Was
that serious? Because you need a picture. It's not hard.
Was that the reason that Matt went to scramble eggs as his picture?
Yes. To mess with people like Morgan, because we were talking about eggs the other night. It was like, egg don't get in the square. So Matt made his picture scrambled eggs. So he's not just one egg, he's a bunch of eggs. So it's that bad.
I think we should allow certain people in the squares. Like I feel like, all right, you guys are gonna mess around and let all these people in your squares. They're gonna be trolls and you're gonna be upset. I'm just trying to tell you all right now.
I don't let everybody in my square.
No, certain people are like, yeah, all these people. No,
I did a blab on Friday, and I simply put a heading, new to blab and have questions, come on in. Okay. And how much did you buy the square one? But I met an attorney and a number of people just that way. Anybody who wanted to walk in. Now, I did have somebody an egg who came in, and I just told everybody, just ignore him. And I had a lot of fun with it because he said, when I said, just ignore him, he said, thanks, Aunt Jemima. And I burst out laughing. Yes. He didn't get he didn't get the response he wanted, so he was real upset because I was supposed to get upset and I didn't, but again,
so you just confirming not to let any eggs in, basically.
Yes.
No, because
if you have an egg,
you like proving Morgan's point.
If you have an egg, you should not.
The attorney was also an egg, okay. And, once I explained to him what it was all about, then, he did go in and put in a photo or whatever. But all I'm saying is when you start, now the egg I can go along with. It gets sort of iffy. But when you start parsing people and, how you said, you got to have a clout score for this and this, that, and the other.
That's a joke that someone made today. That's not true.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
it's sticky.
Okay.
That's the whole. It's a joke. It's a joke because
We're gonna add that to your bio.
Yeah.
I guess so. Because
that's what it needs to say, right before liberation.
Joke because I didn't even say that. Someone just said in the comments they were like, Morgan only loves 65 over clout scores in his blabs, and I was like, that's not true. So that's not how it works.
So right after mindset trainer. So right
rules.
after mindset trainer, it should say cloud score scoper. I'm gonna scope your cloud score, brother. If you
Hold on. Let me look you. What's your name? Let me look you up real quick. Hold on.
On cloud, my cloud score is not even like that high. That's why it's like 60 or 59 or something.
My man Benny Randall is in the building. Benny, boom.
All right, yeah. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna talk to you all later. Have a good night. You want to get rid of me? Hi, Benny. Like, just let Benny in.
Oh, Benny said, "Let me in now."
Oh.
Okay, Benny.
Okay, Benny. Yeah, let's see.
Right. This is my brother right here. This is my
Benny said, "Let me in now."
I sure did say that, Mr. Morgan. How are you, brother?
Doing good.
And Mr. Gerald, how are you, sir?
I am Mac Fantabulous, sir. How are you?
Come on, man. I'm blessed and highly favored. And Mrs. Mackenzie, how are you?
No, I'm Miss.
Oh, Miss. Oh, I apologize. I just wanted to jump in here right quick because I just finished a mastermind seminar and also spoke to a couple of people, and I had a 10 o'clock client, but he was 5 minutes late. And once they're 5 minutes late, you're done. So, but here's what I wanted to jump on right quick. Hey, how you doing, Gerald?
I'm great. How are you?
Come on, man. You know I'm blessed. There's an inside joke here. But what I want to go for is this. I heard this whole conversation. I was listening, and you guys hit some very good points. And one thing I just want to stress is simply this: you can never replace human contact. No matter how much social media you have, no matter how many Twitter followers you have, because you can buy Twitters, you can buy Facebook. I always tell people with this so crazy Facebook stuff, you could have 5,000 friends. Try to get them to give you $1. Ain't going to happen. Nobody got 5,000 friends except Jesus. Okay? And people don't realize is that, they get caught up in the social media, but social media is really, in a sense, anti-media because it allows people to not be who they are. Because when you meet somebody face to face, what happens is you have to be authentic. Because if not, they'll be able to reach you immediately.
Right.
And quickly. You see what I'm saying? And I think people have forgotten the aspect of human contact. You can never replace that. The majority of my clients come from human contact via referral, but they come from human contact. Now, I'm not saying social media is not good. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm simply saying that people have gotten lazy. When the last time have you went out and met somebody that you actually do not know and had nothing in common with and had nothing to sell? Just walked outside and say, hello, my name is Joe. I seen you passing by. I want to know, how are you? First of all, if they don't look at you crazy and you don't look at them crazy, but that's human contact. And that's what people have lost. You know what I mean? It's easy to be in the chat room. It's easy to be all these other places, but it takes courage and it takes intention to meet somebody face to face.
Mm-hmm.
And people have lost the great art of the deal.
And it doesn't even require intention. It's just to sort of say something in passing.
That's what I said. I said no intention.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't require you to be there, but most people will not go out because think about it. If you went outside and met one person every day, just one new person,
mm-hmm.
and got some type of contact, you'd have 365 friends at the end of the year. new contacts. They won't be your friends, but they'll be contacts.
Right.
But people don't do that no more. I hear all this networking stuff. Man, you can't network. You got to work the net. You know what I mean? And if you have influence, people will gravitate towards you.
Thank you.
You don't have to say it. They'll know. When you walk in the room, you will know. Because people will say there's something about that person. It's something about that individual. You know what I mean? And number two, that's why it's so important that because right now Blab is full of a lot of sellers. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's selling.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
that's not where I'm going with this.
Okay.
The point I'm going with is that there's so many sellers, there has to be a buyer at some point. You see what I'm saying? And the beauty of the art of selling is not to sell. That's what people don't realize. It's to build relationships. And relationships are will people do business with people that they like and that make them feel special. Period. I know some people that bought a whole lot of junk just because they was buying it from somebody that they enjoy dealing with. You know what I mean? Does this make sense? Does this make sense, Mr. Morgan?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm just nodding my head. I understand that 100%. I think a lot of people have the intention of talking to people just for the sell. So we're like, hey, I'm only going to network with a bunch of people just to sell a bunch of stuff at the end of the day, but not actually genuinely caring about what that person's passion is, genuinely caring about what that person does, and genuinely caring about their lifestyle. So I agree with it 100%. So people are way too focused on what they need to gain from someone else and figuring out what is that person going through or what is that person about. And I think we lose that. And people are like, oh, I don't have anyone to talk to, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I was saying this in another blab, you know, we have a bunch of people, we have a lot of people that are, you know, that are you're going through and you run into contact a lot of times. So, you know, just hop in a conversation 5-10 minutes and, you know, sometimes that hi to someone could change like their entire spectrum on something, or maybe that conversation could change their life. You don't know. But I always believe that just getting in a conversation on a daily basis and not trying to sell someone, just be like, hey, what's up, is very beneficial, because then you'll be able to be more authentic, more real, and you'll be able to get out of your comfort zone on a daily basis.
Absolutely. So you move to the point I was going to, and that is to sell is not to sell. Okay? Point blank. You build relationships, people will want to know what you do and how you do it, and you'll be gravitate to them. You know what I mean? And another thing is just showing up. You got to show up to the party. Most people will talk and talk, but they won't show up. And you got to have priorities. People don't understand with everything that you're doing in life, you know, time is absolutely valuable. And a lot of people know if you're not with your time, if you're not doing what you need to do with your time, then you're wasting your time. Because money is nothing. Money is attracted to money. But time is something that none of us control. And also, that's why the art of building relationships is face to face. And it will always be that way. Now, don't get it wrong. You will meet people online. But to really have a good relationship, you have to take them offline. Because I don't know one store, not one store, that doesn't have repeat customers. Because without a repeat customer, you don't have a business. You know what I mean? You can only get so many people one time. It's the people that continue to come back and come back and come back more that build empires, that build businesses like, you know, whether it's a Walmart for the people who like things less expensive, or whatever it's a Bergdorf Goodman for people who like quality and like, you know, one-offs. You know, people don't realize that they've lost the art of the deal. You know what I mean? Because one thing I know, the people that I know that make the most money, they don't have humongous, but they have connection and relationships out of this world. Point blank. You agree or don't agree? it's gotten quiet in here.
I agree. No, I'm with you. I thought you were going to keep going. I'm listening to what you're saying.
No.
I always absorb before I say anything, so I want to see.
I was pointing that to Mr. Gerald.
Oh,
Gerald.
I absolutely agree. You have to relationships. I talk about it all the time. Your relationships are vital to your success, to your growth, to everything. You know, if you don't cultivate the relationships, if you don't make those relationships your priority, you can do all the other stuff you want in the world. You can't get anywhere, because none of us can do what we want to do in this world alone. I'm a big advocate.
What is your point on commitment? If you commit to do something, what do you think about that?
Then you have to follow through. You have to follow through.
Absolutely.
You know, you have to commit, and you have to be dedicated, and you have to learn that those two things are not the same thing. And people talk about them like they're interchangeable. They're separate entities altogether. So,
and what's your thought on what a commitment is?
My thought on what a commitment is?
Yes, sir.
A commitment is something that you put your heart and soul into, something that you have actually made a decision to do, and you're going to do just that. But wait a second, we need to go off the record because this is like 10:15 now. So I appreciate everybody. We're just going to end the recording here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, if we all come back next Sunday, I appreciated Jason and Morgan and everybody that's showing up. We're going to go off the record. You guys can continue the conversation. I'm going to jump out. So Ace, I know he's been dying to say something. He can come in, and we'll go that way. So until next Sunday, people, we will see you later.